Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Los Angeles to check this out. A new McLaren Artura. Not just any Artura, but this car, believe it or not, is 6 days old and already has 1,664 miles on the clock. It has been collected by the owner Sam, who's going to be joining us shortly in Canada, driven all the way down the coast, and I believe at this moment in time is possibly the world's highest mileage customer Artura. A perfect opportunity, therefore, to find out all about this. McLaren's new hybrid series production car, a car that, to be honest, I've been super intrigued about since it was introduced and I took a first look about 2 years ago. We've got the 3-litre twin-turbo V6, we've got nearly 700 horsepower, we've got electric driving capability, and we've got so much more to it. This car looks lovely, so let's get straight into it and go out for a drive to find out a bit more about the new McLaren Artura. Let's take a quick look at this then. Here in Los Angeles, the sun is quickly going down, but we're going to head out in a moment to experience it. McLaren's next generation super sports car, a word that mixes art and future into Artura. Their first production hybrid was of course the iconic and legendary P1, followed by the Speedtail, but this is the first series production McLaren hybrid vehicle with that new V6 engine, supported by the electrical assistance, but there's a lot to take in about this. So let's have a quick run around. Of course, the engine is a big deal. The 3-litre twin-turbo V6, which itself makes 585 horsepower, supported by an additional 95 horsepower that comes from the electric motors to produce a total of 680. That's driven to the rear wheels with the 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox, a new 8-speed box. As we come around towards the front, very distinctly McLaren, things like the speed mark-shaped headlights that you have, recognise that from the McLaren logo brought into that, as well as the cooling and styling details. We've got a lot of technology. This is pitched very much as the daily driver McLaren supercar, hence why this particular one has done so many miles already. We've got the adaptive cruise control sensors and radars down here. We've got the surround camera system as well as we come on around. Lots of integrated aero, and in fact one of my favourites is in the door. I'll show you in just a second. We've got these floating buttresses over the rear deck lid. You've actually got the chimney for heat extraction back there. Around towards the rear, this very flat rear deck lid with the lip spoiler, the twin exhaust tailpipes, very sporty diffuser, and you can see straight through towards the gearbox and some of the components there. Car has come down from Canada, but if we pop open the doors, a new dihedral door that opens very closely to the body of the car, but check out the aero. You see this wedge down here on the underside? That's actually to direct the airflow through to here, whereas you can see it has a tendency to pick up some gravel as well. More cooling through here with the divider in the center, and then of course this interior based around the carbon fiber monocoque, as we've seen on many of the McLaren models, all of the new era models. And then if I step inside, check out this, an all new look inside here. The binnacle is actually attached to the steering column, so if you move this, it all moves together. Then like on the Elva, you have your active dynamics controls here for the powertrain and for the handling to adjust the suspension. There's a new screen in the center, this floating tablet, but let me just start this up quickly. We're now in electric. It starts in electric. This is where if you go up here, you go into comfort. You can hear the V6 has started, or up through sport, or even up into track mode, depending exactly how you would like to drive it. But you have a decent amount of electric range, so if you want to go onto full electric after it's run the cold start cycle, it will shut the engine back off and we'll be able to drive on purely electric power. So you can see here the battery and fuel gauges, but I think we need to go and find Sam, find out a little bit more about this, and then take it out for a first drive to experience the car. Hey Sam, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for coming along with this.
Thank you.
And thank you for driving it. You've done so many miles with this thing.
Yeah, it's been 6 days, about 1,700 miles. So it's been a lot of fun on the road.
That's crazy. Not many people pick up their brand new car, which I'm going to assume you've been waiting a while for.
Quite a while, yes.
And you've now taken delivery of it and you've started immediately from McLaren Vancouver?
Yes.
And then all the way down the west coast?
Yeah, down the Pacific Coastal Highway.
Which is amazing. So you must have come through Seattle.
Yeah, all the way down, all the way to the 101 highway, down to California. We did Eureka, the Redwood Forest, we did everything. Amazing. We did a 17-mile drive, Pebble Beach, it was beautiful.
That's the craziest thing, because you've done nearly 300 miles a day. That's like 5 or 6 hours a day driving here.
And there's not a lot of sunlight, so we'd kind of wake up and take our time and go and sightsee and enjoy it.
Absolutely loving it then?
Loving it, yeah, without a doubt.
I'm sure there are quite a few things you know about this that I don't yet know, but shall we hop in, go for a drive before the light has completely vanished on us?
Let's go.
And then go and experience what this is all about. I'll hop in with you, and then I think we'll do maybe a switcheroo a little bit later on. But here we are in Artura. It's quite fun seeing that and seeing obviously you've got comfort entry to make it easier. There's lots of space in here. Daily style, that's what they're going for with it. Daily supercar.
Yep.
Here we are then, electric.
Yeah.
Smooth. It's really quiet.
It's very quiet.
I think this is quieter than I expected. There are fewer background noises, sounds and things than even like the 296, which is obviously for some a competitor to this, but it's a slightly different thing. So you've been driving it, presumably when you hop in it just starts in electric. Do you drive it a lot in electric? Or?
Yeah, I do. On the highway though, the quickest way to charge it is actually in track mode.
Yeah.
So if you put in track, it doesn't use the regenerative braking. It uses the power between the engine and transmission to recharge the batteries.
That makes sense.
It'll actually automatically use the battery power to boost. Let's say if I just want to, press a quarter of the gas, it's instant power.
That's
so
clever.
that's when it does. It'll go full electric up to 140 kilometers an hour, and then after that, then the engine has to turn on and kick in.
I love how much you know about this.
Yeah.
But you are a customer. This is your car.
They taught me a lot about the car before I left. So I made sure of that. So I'm going on a long trip. You guys have to teach me everything. So the guys at McLaren Vancouver did a very good job at that.
So where's your end destination? Obviously coming through LA now, but where are you heading onwards to?
Arizona.
All the way down to Arizona.
Yeah, so it'll stay there in Arizona for a little while.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's quite a mission. And I should quickly point out, the Odo is quite literally on 1,665 miles. I reckon that is probably the highest mileage customer Artura in the world.
Yeah, I think we've established that. We've made a few calls, we've asked around, and yeah, by far, I think that's the highest.
Which is really cool. So are there things that have taken you by surprise with this? Like things you didn't expect about it?
On the freeway, actually, it's a really nice feature. There's new tires. It's a cyber tire.
Oh yeah, they've got like P0 Corsa cyber tires.
And so it'll tell you the temperature of each tire and the pressure of each tire. So when you're driving and the temperature was low in the mountains, I'd make sure to see how warm my tires were so I could kind of feel, how fast I can go, if I have to slow down or whatnot. And it was really helpful. I think that was the best thing that they gave.
Kind of tells you everything about it, but all is running decently. That's an important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any issues, so
nothing's held you in your tracks, nothing stopped you along the way.
No.
Which is kind of cool because I think it's well documented that Artura's had big delays because they were trying to get all software right. I mean, the world's had enough problems anyway in the last couple of years with all parts supply, etc., etc. So they had a lot to work through with this. But the fact that it's now kind of ready and rocking and rolling is really cool to see. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. And I don't have any complaints with the car, so.
It's actually nice. It pulls away decently on electric.
Yeah, full electric.
It's officially only 95 horsepower of electric, but that pulls away surprisingly well. And then if you kick it manually up into, instantly just starts the motor up. Yeah. Which has a very McLaren sound to it. You've owned a few McLarens before.
I have had a 720, I've had the GT, I've had the 570, and I think this one by far is one of the nicest sounding McLarens. And actually the guys at the dealership were saying the same thing because of the V6.
Yeah.
It's, they love the exhaust tone that comes out of it.
It's easy to say, oh, it's just a V6, it's not as good as the V8, but it has a distinct McLaren sound, a very low, grumbly pitch to it.
This has the sport exhaust option as well. So, I mean, you put it into sport or track mode, it slightly opens up the valves and you could hear it.
Yeah, okay. So instantly a touch louder. But I mean, the idea is to make it quite a daily car, right? So it's not completely loud and obnoxious and in your face. It's just...
There's not a lot of drone noise. It's actually, it's fun.
And lots of like convenient storage pouches. That's the thing I remember when I was looking at it the first time. Things like for your phone, it can go right there.
Yeah, actually they have a phone pouch right here in front of the seat as well.
Yeah.
For the driver. Yep.
So you can put everything somewhere.
Yeah.
It's those small things which really change the usability of a car. Being able to have door pockets and pouches and stuff, and good sound system, and the infotainment, and all of this. I haven't used the new system at all, but guess that right. You press home. This is your volume. It's nice to have a physical volume.
Yeah.
and you've got all your assistant stuff and things I could change and move, and yes, you need to not be driving when you try and do that. So we head out through LA here. Yeah, I get it. I get those burbles and sounds and things. Yeah. That's cool. And this is obviously chill cruise mode, but we're in a car that's immensely track capable as well.
Yeah, you have the drift control here.
Oh yeah, the VDC variable drift control.
And you can kind of turn that out. I haven't used it. I don't know if I ever will, but
yeah, you can put it up through different settings.
Yeah, it's really cool. The ambient lighting is nice at night.
You mean you don't want to go for a like 10 out of 10 drift around Melrose or wherever we are at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that.
Time and a place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very smooth, but McLarens always do a wonderful job of this. The ride is amazing. The ride quality is absolutely brilliant. Just like that passenger perspective. Oof, his diffuser's seen better days.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Someone had some fun with them.
Yeah. No, the ride is really, really impressive. Obviously, we're in handling comfort at the moment, but
this is sport. This is comfort mode now.
Yeah, on the powertrain side.
Yeah, powertrain.
Yeah, it's nice like this. Rides really well. I'm impressed by that. I can see how you can do so many miles, but was that always the plan? Did you always intend that when you get this car, you'd take it on a massive road trip?
No, it was kind of like a last minute thing, and I didn't have much planned for the week, and I thought,
we'll just drive it down.
Might as well, yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, the weather was not bad, and take an opportunity when it comes to you. So
yeah, the weather wasn't bad, except it was even raining here in LA this morning.
yeah, it was. I mean, we had a lot of rain coming down the Pacific Coastal Highway, but nothing that was horrible. So
cool. I mean, this is literally one of the first Arturas in the world to be delivered, and I mean, it's awesome to see that you're driving it so much straight away from the off.
Yeah,
it's really cool. How do you find the looks of the car? Does it get attention everywhere you go?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who they'll pull out their phone. It's a new car and they don't know about it, and it's a lot of fun.
What do you find people think of it when they know what it is? What have people heard about the Artura?
I think it's so new that they don't realize that it's electric. So when I pull away and it's in full electric mode, they're surprised because they're expecting like an exhaust note, but they don't, right? So
it's become like the reverse party trick, hasn't it? To
exactly.
pop it into electric when you leave from a parking lot or something.
Yeah.
And people are just confused.
Yeah, so it automatically will go into electric and it'll switch between the two.
So if you want to charge it up rapidly, can you do that?
Yeah, so right now it's just normal mode, but I could pull the bottom stock and it'll maximize the charging. And so it'll make sure that the engine's constantly running to maximize
so it's got the full charge back.
Yep.
Not too bad. Luggage space wise, you've got a decent frunk.
Yes.
I think up front, and technically, although you shouldn't use it, you've got a bit of space behind.
Yeah, we've had a few backpacks and a carry-on luggage, and we've been good for the last 6 days. So
stuff that you need for a drive.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Time to see what it's about.
Sweet.
Let's do this. Looking forward to this. Our first experience in the Artura. Pop the doors. They go up super vertically, which just makes getting in and out that touch easier than it otherwise would be. No, why am I closing the door? You kind of need that. Sorry. It's okay. We come round, take a seat inside here. Everything comfortable. So let me give this to you, if that is all right.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let's pull away, go experience this. So we are in comfort at the moment. Everything in default settings. It's always interesting to see the way different brands integrate this kind of tech. Now, I've been lucky to do a fair few miles in a P1. Have you ever driven a P1?
No, I haven't had the chance.
It's like, I mean, that was where it started, but it's crazy to think that was 10 years ago.
Yep.
10 years from that car through to, well, where we are now, right? To the series production side of car.
Well, some people have called this the baby P1. That's kind of what they refer to it to, yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of is if you think about the tech side of it. What it offers, what it's introduced, what it does as a car. And the scary thing is the performance figures are not far behind a P1.
No.
Like, not far at all. I know this car from 0 to 124 miles an hour, 200 kilometers an hour is 8.5 seconds, which is really fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's
really fast.
I could compare it to the 720.
I mean, the 720 is ballistic though.
Yeah.
Do you remember how quickly?
And that's the car that just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People had no idea before that launched how fast it was going to be, and then it arrived.
Yeah.
Off we go. So, I'm going to pop this up here into sport mode. There we go. I might pop just to try it, the handling into sport as well. It adjusts everything and starts changing it around. And then if you want to go manual, you've got the hotkey right here.
Yep.
That makes it easy. Drop some gears. You get a nice burble. A lot of V6s do have a similar kind of tone to them. Oh, there are strange noises from it, aren't there? When you get just a little bit more in the rev range.
Yeah.
And you've got the rocker paddles as well. Do you ever find yourself doing that? Like go up and down on the wrong side? Or because you can, if you want to go up from the left, you can press it. And if you want to go down from the right, you can press it. Where it's solidly mounted through the back.
Oh well.
Okay, we're going to have to sit in traffic jams. Nobody wants traffic when you're experiencing an Artura. Oh well. It will be what it will be. I kind of want to put my foot down, but I don't think it's going to happen right now. We can hope, we can hope. Maybe if I let some cars open up a little bit just to get a small feel for it. Yeah, there's that character. There's that distinct character. I'm sure you've had plenty of fun with this.
Yeah, on the freeway.
Grumpy V8 Camaro going past. Shifts are quick, as they should be. It's a brand new gearbox, 8-speed. It's very quiet. Sound deadening. Sound insulation is good.
Yep.
Really good. And then as much as you can in the traffic, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do not have the time today to get out of town. I will have to wait for a later date to experience it properly. Venturing a little bit off the beaten track then. Try and find somewhere where we can accelerate a little bit harder, except for this. Don't want to take off your front splitter within the first couple of minutes of driving your car. But then when it opens up, and I always like a McLaren steering wheel. That's cool. And as soon as you lift off, you hear it regenerating. You hear that like whir as it's starting to put some power back into the battery as a result. That's actually really interesting how quickly it happens, but obviously harnessing that power rather than wasting it straight away. Very easy to position. It feels very natural straight away. Yeah. Shifts are very fast, but McLaren always make cars that are so brilliant to drive. You just get in them and you feel, you know this from driving all the cars you've owned, they're so welcoming straight away, and they just feel exciting. They feel sharp, they feel pinpoint precise. And I think one of the things that I always felt is that they have so many models that are really similar. Yes. At least here, the engine sounds so different. It is so different, and the controls are all quite different, that it's a little bit of a new character from the car rather than being same old again. It's a really strange noise. I don't know if you've got used to it, that high pitch.
Yeah.
That high-pitched whistle that you get.
I think that's the battery.
It must be the battery charging back up, because the battery is obviously sitting somewhere in the bulkhead back behind us, keeping things alive. One of the funny things about this is you've literally broken this car in on what I'm going to call the first drive.
Yeah.
Like the first drive from the dealership down towards Arizona. You've done the running in mileage.
Yeah, they say 1,400 miles is the break-in period.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done it just in time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Like on not day one, but I guess it must feel like day one because you haven't been home. You've just been.
Yeah.
Did you go straight from the dealer or did you go home first?
Straight to the dealer.
Did you?
Yeah. Straight from the dealer, we hit the highway, and it was the middle of the night, our first leg of the trip. So. That's
amazing. So you literally picked up the car, started.
And just went.
And here you are.
Yeah, it had 50 kilometers at the time.
That's amazing. Yes, of course, it'd be in kilometers. I'm in Canada, so switch it down to miles. I'm amazed by the ride quality. The ride is fantastic. Got a sheriff in front, so let's chill out. Well, we have made it back. Switch off. I didn't actually drive it in electric. I just realised.
Yeah.
I didn't need to. I experienced it from the passenger seat in electric, and I enjoyed driving it in sport to get more of a feel, and because we had it charging, we're on 100% battery. Is that 100? Oh no, it's 12 volt
No, it's
battery.
12 volt,
This is
yeah.
the hybrid battery.
10 miles. Full charge is 18 miles.
And now 1,670 miles on it. And all the like nice comfort access things. So when I open this, my seat moves, the steering wheel moves, everything tucks back and makes it very smooth. Well, that was awesome. Thank you for the drive.
been my
Thank you for
pleasure.
the run out. Appreciate it. Enjoy your onward voyage with this to Arizona. Yeah. While we're here, have a look at this. The ambient lighting that you see through the windscreen towards the doors. That's really nice. And of course you can change the settings and everything behind that. But we're back here. The Griffith Observatory is somewhere just over that way, up in the hills. But a first drive in Artura, and yes, of course, not going full pelt and fully discovering what it's like on a mountain road or something. But I think the idea with a car like this is that it's more a car for driving every day, for driving around town, and it does that really well. I'm honestly very impressed with the ride quality. Very, very impressed with that setup and just the overall balance of it, and how 95 electric horsepower still manages to translate into the experience we had when Sam was driving it there. So overall, a cool experience to get behind the wheel of Artura. It's cool that it's a little bit different to previous McLarens. You know, it's a different type of thing to the 720, 765, to the sports series that I suppose in some ways this replaced. Obviously the 570S, 570S Spider, 540C, 600LT, 600LT Spider, 620R, etc. That whole family. This is now what would have been the Sports Series, but the Sports Series is no more in that sense. The Ultimate Series is the flagship lineup, and again, touches of Elva, like with the controls for the handling and powertrain in reach of the steering wheel that you have in here, but so many things that are unique to this car, unique to it. I think there's obviously a platform here on which some more hardcore versions will come, you know, more aero, more going on around the back, but this is designed to be every day, to be smooth, simple and easy. So I found a little first drive here in LA. It's quickly getting dark, which means onwards towards our next destination, but crazy to think that's on so many miles so quickly. Respect to Sam for that, because I love the idea of picking up new cars and going straight away on a road trip to do 1,700 odd miles, plus the drive from here to Arizona. It's going to be about 2,000 miles in a week. 2,000 miles in a 1 week old Artura. That's pretty nice. That's it for now though. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Appreciate your support as always. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.